Hi, it's Karen Demery. I wanted to share with you 6 simple steps that I use in my world to help me to live a happier life. Now, I don't know anyone who wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to have a really unhappy day. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody that walks around thinking, I'm just going to be unhappy. I've decided that I don't like my life and I'm going to be completely miserable until I die. I don't think that people consciously make that decision. I think that a lot of times people are unhappy and aren't really sure how to get out of it. But I think that most people, I would say 99.9% people actually want to be happy in their life and they're just not quite sure how. So these are some of the things that I do pretty much on a daily basis. I'm a fairly happy person. I do have my down days, as everybody does, but I generally find that overall I'm a fairly happy kind of person, and I've just implemented a couple of basic things which help me get through. One of the first things, and probably the biggest thing for me, is that I have gratitude. Now, I don't just have gratitude for when the good things show up, because that's easy. I have gratitude when things are falling apart as well. I have gratitude because when the bad things happen, I know that once I've gotten through it, that there's a lesson in it. I know that there's growth on the other side of it. I know that something has to fall away, and for that to happen, a lot of times if I don't want to let it go, then the universe will assist me in letting that go. Iyanla Vanzant says that an emotional breakdown is a spiritual breakthrough. And I absolutely believe that, because I know that when things have gone bad, and on the other side of it, when it seemed like things were really completely falling apart, on the other side of it, I know that I have grown spiritually and stood more as a woman in my power and in my knowledge and my knowing, simply because I've been able to go through that stuff. So I give gratitude for everything that shows up. I high-five myself and my husband, yay, high-five, when the good things happen. But I also have gratitude for the things that aren't so great that happen, because I know that there is a learning and a growth. And sometimes when you're in the middle of it, you don't see it, and you don't have to. Even if you just understand the fact that there's a growth that's happening, and ask yourself what else is possible in this moment. What else can I do to get through this? What is this showing up to help me learn, to teach me? What am I meant to get here that I'm not? What about this is going to help me grow? What am I meant to let go of? What am I meant to hold on to? If you're getting into a place of question, you're really then able to get to the other side of it and have gratitude for it. So that's probably one of the biggest things, is having gratitude. For me, when I was in the middle of a lot of stuff where it was really, really tough for me to have gratitude, I can remember my doctor saying to me, just get through the moment. You can look for the lesson, but just get through this moment. And for me, a lot of times it was a moment by moment thing. Once I had gotten through that moment of that particular difficult situation, then I was able to do it. So if you're in the middle of something incredibly horrid that's happening, it may not be applicable for you to have gratitude in that particular moment. But trust me that everything happens exactly as it's meant to. And if you are open to that, then you will see the gratitude that comes from that place, and what it is that you can learn, grow, and expand from that. Because if you've led a very sheltered life, your life experience and your opportunities for wisdom and knowledge generally aren't that big. The majority of successful business people, the majority of millionaires, billionaires, coaches, people who have huge success, have that simply because, maybe not so much simply, but they have it because of the adversity that they have gone through. And a lot of times it is only on the other side of that adversity that they have been able to take those experiences and learn from them, and the lesson that they have it. And I think that you will find that the majority of people who have gone through that will say that there was a lesson in it and they were grateful that they have gone through that so that they could actually learn that. The amount of millionaires, billionaires who have actually gone bankrupt is very, very high. So it's important to just understand that, having gratitude for everything that shows up in your life, and understanding that it is there to serve something higher for you to help you learn and grow, is really, really going to be valuable. I think that it's also really important to connect to some sort of source, some sort of higher power. I don't know what your belief is, and if your belief conflicts with others, then that's your business. I'm not here to judge anybody. I just know that for me, having a connection to something higher than myself makes it a lot easier. Now, whether or not you call it a god or something else, it really doesn't matter. Your connection to the source may be walking out in nature. Your connection to your source may be swimming in the river or swimming in the ocean. It could be sitting down under a tree and writing. Your connection to a source that is greater than you, in whatever form that is, that fills you up, that gives you something that you're not able to get, is really, really important. And so I don't want you to judge thinking that it needs to be something that everybody else goes along with. Your source and who you're connected to is a very personal journey. And so I'm inviting you to go on that path to find a source that you can connect with. A higher power and a source that creates is going to make things so much easier. And again, it comes back to gratitude, because you know that it's bigger than us. This universe is just so magnificent, and you're magnificent simply because you're in it. So to think that that source hasn't come from somewhere, that just blows my mind. So I really want you to find what it is that your source is. Really connect with that, because that helps fill you up. That's a spiritual basis. That's the foundation which you'll be able to continue to build on these, and that's really important. The other thing that I find important as well is to have a belief that supports you, not that holds you back. A lot of times, we believe in things, whether they be our beliefs, whether they be the beliefs of our parents, whether they're the beliefs of our grandparents, our aunts, our uncles, our great-great-great-great-grandparents. We have beliefs that just don't serve us. They just don't serve us at all. However, we continue to hold on to them. And sometimes I think that the same goes for traditions. I'm all for traditions if they serve a purpose. If it doesn't and it holds you back, I kind of don't understand the logic of that. I like to do things which make me happy and help me to move forward. And if you're doing a tradition, or you have a belief which doesn't help you to be fulfilled and happy and have a fabulous life, I don't quite understand that. But it's important to have a belief which supports you in the direction in which you want to go. So take some time to really have a look at your beliefs. When you answer a question, when you think about something, when you say, well, that's just what I believe. Well, why? Why do you believe that? Where does that come from? Is it yours? The majority of your thoughts, your beliefs, your energy, a lot of that stuff, the majority, I would say 99% of that doesn't even belong to you. Doesn't even belong to you. It's what you've picked up. We learn lots of things from, like I said, our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, our great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents. We've just picked up those beliefs. And so we, a lot of times, don't even question it. We just go, oh, well, because that's just how we've always done it. And when we question it, then we go, well, actually, that doesn't really serve me anymore. I might stop. Which is something that a lot of times works in our favour. So I really want to invite you to have a look at what beliefs are working and supporting you and what beliefs aren't. And if your beliefs aren't supporting you, then I invite you to have a look at what beliefs you can replace them with, and start looking at beliefs which actually do support you to have the life that you want. Because overall, that's what it is that we want. You know, we want to live a happy life. And if our beliefs are stopping us from having that, Maybe your belief is that you're not worthy of having money. Maybe your belief is that you can't have it based on your age, your culture, your religion, your background, what you've done, what you haven't done. I mean, there are lots of beliefs that we have that we can't do something simply because we've believed it. And so how do you know that? Unless you actually ask the question and start to have a look, well, hang on a second, maybe that's actually not so right. And it's all just a learning process, which is also exciting. The other thing that I wanted, which I think is really important as well, is to be real. A lot of times we think we need to be something other than who we truly are. We might be really quirky and we think that we need to be wearing a tailored suit and we need to be all proper, and we're not real to who we are, and then we wonder why we're unhappy. I'm probably the quirkiest person in my whole family. I'm not quite sure where that comes from because nobody else is like me. So I see things very differently. I'm very, very animated in how I talk and what I get excited about. And I don't apologise for that because that's how I am. That's how real I am. And if that doesn't suit people, then that's okay. I'm not at all offended by that because it's not some people's cup of tea, and that's incredibly fine. If you're somebody who loves to have spiked green hair, have spiked green hair. If that's who you truly are. If you're having spiked green hair because everybody else has spiked green hair in your group or your club or your school or wherever, you might want to think about whether or not that's really you. But be true to you. Be real in who you are. If you're a shorts and t-shirt kind of guy, be that. If you're a three-piece suit kind of guy, be that. If you're heels and skirt, wear those. As women, we seem to spend a lot of time pretending to be something that we're not. And I think in a lot of ways, men seem to be able to be real in themselves a lot easier than we do. There are some men that don't, but from what I know about a lot of males, in that they're able to be real without as much of the issues that we women seem to take on. So be real, be really okay in standing in your truth of who you are and the realness that comes from knowing that how you are is perfect. It really is. How you are in this moment is magical simply because you are here. And that realness gives other people permission to be real in themselves as well. You pretending to be something you're not to fit in with somebody else makes somebody else think that they have to do the same. So if you can stand in your truth and be real, there is somebody, trust me, there is somebody watching you going, if she can do that, so can I. And the very last thing is watch what you think. Watch your thoughts. We spend so much time in our head. We really spend so much time in our head. And a lot of times what we're thinking doesn't serve us. So it's really important to have a look at what's going on in your head. What are you thinking about all of the time? Are you constantly thinking about all of the negative things in your life? Are you thinking about all of the positive things? Are you thinking about opportunities? Are you thinking about failures? The worst thing that you could possibly get stuck on with your thoughts are what ifs. I don't know anybody that hasn't gone through something where they have said, what if I'd have done something else? What if I'd have done this instead of that? It is the worst thing that you can do because it keeps you stuck in the past, and it also makes you wrong for the decisions that you made. So watch it, what it is that you're thinking about, because if you're spending a lot of time thinking about the past, you cannot be present in this moment and you cannot be focusing on the future. So really be mindful of what your thoughts are. You think 60-odd thousand of them a day. Are they the same ones that you're having every day? Are you thinking about positive things? Are you thinking about negative things? Are you judging yourself? Are you coming from a place of love and acceptance, or are you coming from a place of hatred and judgment? Are you angry? Really start to have a look at what it is that goes on in your head, because that's going to give you an indication of how your life's showing up. And again, if you can come back to the very first thing that I talked about, which was gratitude, if you can bring your thoughts full circle and then start to think thoughts of gratitude, then the rest continue to flow. So you have, the first one is you have gratitude, the second one is connecting to the source, the third is to have a belief that supports you rather than not supporting you. Be real, because that's obviously very, very important. Be real. Watch what you're thinking, because what you're thinking is going to play a part in what shows up in your life. So I hope that these were helpful. I hope that even if one of these, if you was to just concentrate on one of these things that I have mentioned for a couple of weeks or even a month, you would be amazed how much your life would change, because it gets you back in control. And that's what it's really all about. It's your life. So you need to live it. You need to be happy in it. This is it. You're here. So why not make it magical while you're here? That's what we all want. So your life is now, so you need to live it. And why not live it being happy? So until next time, leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.